When the leaves turned black under October's dying moon, the woods behind the old quarry began to whisper again. Everyone in Black Hollow knew what that meant. Parents closed their windows early, dogs refused to go outside, and the air took on the smell of metal, like old blood and wet iron. The kids still went, of course. Curiosity has always been a stronger curse than fear. It started with stories told around campfires. A shadow that reached further than it should. A shape that moved even when the wind was still. They said if you saw him, really saw him, you'd never sleep right again. The thing with the long arms didn't kill you. It was worse than that. He followed you. No one knew what he looked like in daylight because the daylight wouldn't touch him. Some said his arms were longer than his body, dragging through the dirt like twin snakes. Others said they were covered in hair so fine it moved like smoke. But everyone agreed on one thing. When he found you, he didn't walk. He unfolded. That year, 5 kids from the Hollow decided to go find him. They were 13 and stupid in the way only 13-year-olds can be. Half scared, half invincible. There was Sam, the ringleader. Lila, who never said no to a dare. Benny, who carried his dad's flashlight like a sword. And the twins, Carl and Carrie, who did everything together, even trembling. They left just after sunset, the sky bruised and bleeding over the tree line. Their flashlights cut little holes into the dark, but the woods seemed to swallow them faster than light could travel. "Think he's real," Lila whispered. Sam shrugged. "If he is, he won't scare me." But something in the forest shifted when he said it. The trees seemed to lean closer. The sound of insects went mute, as if the whole world was holding its breath. Benny laughed, a nervous sound. "You hear that?" Nobody answered. Then, from deeper in the woods, came the creak of something bending. A long, slow stretch of timber. Except it wasn't timber. It was wet. The group froze. Carl pointed the flashlight ahead, and for a second, it caught something pale between the trunks. Not a face. Not exactly. More like the suggestion of one. Hollow eyes, a mouth that seemed to droop open, and 2 arms, long, impossibly long, hanging almost to the ground. The light flickered. Then he was gone. Carrie screamed. Sam grabbed her hand and yanked her back toward the trail. But the trail wasn't there anymore. The forest had rearranged itself. Every tree, every path, until it felt like they were inside a lung, trapped in something that was breathing. The shadows stretched. The pale shape appeared again, closer now. They ran. Branches clawed at their faces. Lila tripped and fell. When Benny turned to help her up, she was staring over his shoulder, eyes huge, lips trembling. "He touched me," she whispered. Benny spun around, but there was nothing. Just the smell of damp earth and something sour like rot. They didn't stop running until they burst out of the woods and into the gravel lot by the quarry. Their parents found them an hour later, sobbing and covered in scratches. Except Lila. Lila never came out. For days they searched. Dogs, volunteers, even drones from the county. No one found her. The sheriff said she must have fallen into one of the old mining pits. A tragedy, he called it. But the kids who'd been there knew better. They didn't talk about it for years. Benny moved away. Carl and Carrie grew up quiet, always looking over their shoulders. Sam joined the army, hoping distance would keep the memory from following him. Didn't. Because that's what the thing with the long arms does. He doesn't end you. He attaches to you. A stain in your dreams. A whisper behind every door you close. When Benny turned 18, he started sleepwalking. His mother found him one night standing in the backyard, barefoot in the frost, arms outstretched as if waiting for something to take his hand. When the twins went to college, they shared a dorm room out of habit. One morning, Carrie woke up to find Carl sitting upright, eyes open, murmuring, "He's almost here. He's almost here." Carl never woke up. Sam lasted the longest. Maybe because he refused to believe. But on Halloween night years later, he came back to Black Hollow. He said he wanted to face it once and for all, to see the place where the stories started. He brought a camera. The footage was found the next morning, just past the quarry edge. The first few minutes were shaky, Sam breathing hard, flashlight beam jittering through the trees. Then the creak started. Long, slow, wet. The camera turned toward it. For a heartbeat, the lens caught him. Tall and impossibly thin, arms stretching into the dark like the roots of an old tree. His skin looked like candle wax melting, dripping from his bones. And where his face should have been, there was only a hollow grin that seemed to grow as it drew closer. Sam dropped the camera. The last image was a blur of motion, the sound of something dragging through the leaves, and a voice, Sam's voice, muttering, "He's real." The search team never found a body, just the camera. Now, every October, kids from the newer part of town dare each other to go out there. They laugh, they drink, they post about it online. And every so often, one of them disappears. The others, if they're lucky, come back changed. Ill. Quiet. They stop sleeping through the night. They start avoiding mirrors. Sometimes, when you pass them on the street, you can see their shadows move just a half-second behind them. And if you look close enough, if you really look, you might notice something worse. Their arms are a little too long, and their fingers never stop twitching. The woods behind Black Hollow are still there. Quarry 2. The old paths have been reclaimed by ivy and thorns, but if you walk far enough in the dark, you'll hear that same sound. A creak, like a tree bending under its own weight. Only it's not a tree. It's him. And if you see him, if those hollow eyes ever find you, don't run. Don't scream. It doesn't matter. Because once the thing with the long arms sees you, he never forgets your shape. He'll follow you home. And he'll wait.